Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's often overlooked in the grand narrative of the 20th century. It's a story of resilience, struggle, and the unyielding spirit of a nation caught between giants. We're talking about Poland after World War II. Imagine this. The war is over. Your country, Poland, fought bravely and ended up on the winning side. You'd think this would be a time for celebration and rebuilding, right? Well, the reality was far more complicated. Instead of true freedom, Poland found itself trading one form of oppression for another, falling under the heavy influence of the Soviet Union. A communist government, loyal to Moscow, was installed, and the dream of an independent Poland was once again deferred. One of the most immediate and jarring changes was on the map itself. At post-war peace conferences, Poland's borders were literally redrawn. The country lost huge swaths of its eastern territories to the Soviet Union. As a form of compensation, it was given some industrial regions that were part of pre-war Germany in the West. Picture this. The entire country was essentially shifted about 100 to 150 kilometers westward. This wasn't just lines on a map. It was a massive human event. Over 2 million people were uprooted and forced to resettle, leaving their ancestral homes behind to start new lives in unfamiliar lands. It was a monumental, traumatic shuffle that shaped the nation for generations. So, Poland had to be rebuilt from the ashes of war, but this time under a system that was fundamentally against personal freedom. The new communist regime was severely anti-democratic. It brought with it an economic system that was, to put it mildly, incredibly inefficient. While Western Europe was experiencing an economic boom, the famous post-war miracle, Poland's reconstruction, crawled at a snail's pace. The country was sealed off, politically and culturally isolated from the West. This isolation, combined with a failing economy, created a starkly different reality for the Polish people. Life under communism was a daily struggle. Imagine going to the store and finding the shelves empty, not just for luxury items, but for basic necessities like bread, meat, or toilet paper. Shortages were a constant feature of life. This economic stagnation wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a source of deep frustration and hardship for millions of families trying to get by. On top of the economic woes, there was a complete lack of political freedom. There was no free press to hold the government accountable. The media was state-controlled, pumping out propaganda day in and day out. If you dared to speak out, to criticize the government or the system, you faced severe consequences. The political elites often abused their power, living lives of privilege while ordinary citizens struggled. This combination of economic hardship and political repression was a recipe for conflict, and conflict there was. Throughout the communist period, Poland was rocked by waves of social unrest and protests. Workers, students, and intellectuals repeatedly rose up to demand their rights, to demand a better life. They protested for bread and for freedom, and each time, the authorities responded with brutal force. These protests were suppressed, often violently, by the police and the military, leading to a tragic loss of life and cementing a deep-seated distrust between the people and the state. But here's the most important part of the story. Despite the constant pressure, the propaganda, and the repression, the spirit of the Polish people was never broken. The desire for freedom simmered just beneath the surface, waiting for its moment. This period of struggle forged a strong sense of solidarity and a powerful underground culture of resistance. There's a famous, haunting photograph that perfectly captures the atmosphere of this era. It was taken by Chris Niedenthal in Warsaw in December 1981, on the very first day of martial law. The government had declared war on its own people to crush the growing solidarity movement. In the photo, a military vehicle, an armored personnel carrier, stands grimly in the snow-covered street, and in the background, a cinema. The Kino Moskvowicz ironically means Moscow Cinema is showing a huge poster for Francis Ford Coppola's film Apocalypse Now. The irony is staggering. A film about the horrors and absurdities of war, being advertised in a city under military occupation. Apocalypse Now. Indeed, it was a surreal, almost cinematic moment that encapsulated the dark, uncertain, and oppressive reality of life in the People's Republic of Poland. This image became an icon, a symbol of the absurdity and tragedy of the communist regime. It showed a government so disconnected from its people that it would impose military rule while a film with that title played in the background. It represented the moment when the mask finally slipped, and the state's true, repressive nature was laid bare for all to see. The declaration of martial law was a dark chapter, but it wasn't the end of the story. It was, in many ways, the beginning of the end for communism in Poland. The crackdown only strengthened the resolve of the opposition. The solidarity among the people grew stronger in the face of adversity. The struggle continued in secret, in underground printing presses, in quiet meetings, and in the hearts of millions. This long, difficult period, from the end of the war to the fall of the Berlin Wall, is a testament to human endurance. It shows that you can control a country's borders, its economy, and its media, but you can never truly control the will of its people to be free. The story of post-war Poland is not just a history lesson. It's an inspiring saga of a nation that refused to give up, that kept fighting for its identity and its freedom against overwhelming odds. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, hope can persist, and that the desire for liberty is a powerful, unstoppable force. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into a crucial piece of modern history. If you found this story compelling, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if there are other historical topics you'd like to see covered. Until next time, take care.